Greetings, and I don't know. It's I just happened to look at the date today. It's the 8th of October, so October being the 8th month, not the 10th. So it's 88, double infinity. Wonderful, and it has been a spectacular day today. Um, it's a case of bum bum ba ba bum bum. I'll explain that. That's a theme from Bruckner's Fifth Symphony. Now, Anton Bruckner, Austrian composer, 1824 to 1896. I find him fascinating. The man and the music are two different things. Um, and there is a reason for all this, which is all to do with spirituality. You see, if you wish for something and things will just come to you. Now, in this particular case, Anton Bruckner was an organist primarily. He could have had a very successful career as an improviser. He actually came over to London to Alexandra Palace, and he was known for his improvisations on the organ. But he chose not to take that route. He had in his mind this idea to write these symphonies, which I would interpret as being from the cradle to the grave. Now, Bruckner the man, the typical picture of him is this country bumpkin, but at the same time he was a conservatory professor in Vienna, and he could hold conversations with doctors about the latest medical techniques in the 19th century. So hardly a simpleton, which he was portrayed as in the 19th century. Fortunately, that seems to be changing now. Yeah, I do get passionate about Bruckner. I really identify with him. So you can imagine there he is in high society Vienna, and he's still wearing these country clothes. He never changed the way he dressed his entire life. So he would have really stood out like a sore thumb in Vienna, the height of fashion at the time. But the whole point of this is because he was an organist, I really wanted to hear the Fifth Symphony in an organ transcription, because that would be probably closer to how he would have heard it in his head when he created that particular symphony. And 20th of September on YouTube, it has been done. And it's like, oh, thank you so much. I've been waiting for that for so long. I have got a recording that was on late one night years ago that I have on cassette, but I only have one cassette player. Some of the younger viewers will probably say, "What's a cassette?" But yeah, I'm showing my age. But it has been a wonderful day. I'm not going to mention names, but I do need to mention this as well. Sunday, I had a request to send healing to a person who had total organ failure and is in a coma. Well, I've heard today that they are now awake and talking. We're not out the woods yet, because I'm going to get her walking and full mobility again, because obviously her circulation and her legs is no good. The doctors were on the point of giving up with it on her, and I did have some extra help with the healing with this. It's not down to me, and well, none of the healing is down to me. It's just something that is channeled through me. So yeah, I'm in a really good mood. So this is why this video is not so serious as normally. But the other part of this video, it's funny, the perceptions. The last video I made called Matrix Unlocked 13 Flip Over, I wasn't really happy with the way that flowed, but looking at some of the comments that we've responded, you obviously all like it, so it stays. And I wanted to talk more actually about this spiritual awakening. I can talk from personal experience about this, because what you find is you will go through a really strange transition. Now, I wasn't really involved with social media at all when it happened to me, and it's like, what the hell's going on? What is wrong with me? And you actually start to question your own sanity, because you start seeing things in a very different way. And you will start losing your friends because your perception of reality changes. It's a huge step to take, and it's one I would recommend. Just unplug that television set, get rid of it, throw it away, leave it all behind. By all means, use YouTube for presentations like I do, because obviously I'm not corporate media, I'm not pushing a corporate agenda, and there's lots of channels. I gave loads of links in the description on the last video, as a sort of pointers to people I think are worth listening to. And it's nice to see some of the comments. I've yet to respond. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten any of you. It's just it's been quite a busy day one way or another. But yeah, you'll probably get. I've done videos on these specific topics like the night sweats, the ringing in the ears, and I'd recommend going searching through the video list and finding those. But you will find that your life changes. Now, I'm going to paint a picture, and pretty much everyone I've spoken to and I talk to on a regular basis all goes through pretty much the same experience where you go through hell in your life. Now, they might at the time seem like they are bad experiences, but it's like everything. You can allow that to hold you down and feel miserable and feel sorry for yourself, or you can stand back from it and then think, now why did that happen? What is there to learn from this? This is always a thing to do. Take a step back, take a deep breath, and look at what's happened and consider why it's happened, because you're put through these awful experiences to empower you to grow from. And from a place of benevolence, you'll find that that empowerment will allow you to help other people. They will. It's to do with our magnetic energy. You will find people will come into your life that have probably, just let's take for example depression. If you've gone through that and you've come out the other side of it, then you'll probably find that you will draw people towards you that are going through that, and this is your chance to then use that experience to then help them, because this is all about benevolence, and it is a wonderful experience. I mean, I'm at my happiest when I'm doing healing or when I'm out in nature in the garden. It's rained on and off, but we've managed to do some work outside. I've cleared all the moss and sludge out the gutters, but that's being used because that is perfect compost. It's full of nutrients. See, nothing needs to be chucked away. Nature provides everything. It is all with this spiritual awakening. It is all about letting go first. It's a process of unlearning. Let go of everything. Like you, I mean, if you in the physical form you declutter and get rid of things, you think, oh, I don't need that coat anymore, or I don't need those magazines or whatever, or books or whatever, don't need that collection of videos or DVDs. Well, don't forget to do it in the mind and also in the heart, because things are always in three levels: mind, body and soul. And it is through this letting go process that allows new things to come in. It is just like the physical world. If you have a room and it's full of clutter, you declutter it, it allows space for more things. I think I've said this before. I've mined the mind, and I try and keep it empty. That might sound like a really weird thing to say, but it does allow the spiritual downloads to come a lot easier. And I do get a lot of information this way. From the other channels I listen to, there may be keywords or even messages. It might be just a single word or a phrase, and it's like something just clicks, and it's like, I need to get that message out and share it with other people, because sharing is caring, and this is what it is all about. And I feel so happy today, and I hope that that will come across in this video. And if you're having a really shitty day, I hope that will help lift you up. But there are other channels I've mentioned. Look for the spiritual ones. Holographic Multiverse, Nicole Stella, Roots channel, and there's another one, Yusa, her name is. Look for her channel. I'll put the links in again. It's going to be easier. See, mining the mind, short term memory loss is another thing that comes with this. And a classic example is you'll go to the local shops or store in the United States and with for a specific item, and you'll come back with anything but. So there's a lesson to even learning that. Sort of write it down, make a list of what you want, so you don't forget. Otherwise, you'll end up doing 2 trips. But mind you, it might be a good thing if it gives you a bit of exercise out in the fresh air. But it's all perspectives on things. You can spend your time just looking at all the fear porn about all the bad things, but actually, yeah, while we're on the subject, let's talk about this 5G. Now, I'm sure all of you are aware of when somebody invades your personal space. Well, that is your aura. They're stepping into your magnetic field. And I think everybody can relate to this and understand it from that point of view. Well, it's a simple process of seeing and feeling with the one real true sense, which is from the heart, and you see through the third eye and through, I suppose, the third ear, you could call it. And if you project and radiate out that energy, there is nothing that is going to get through that. And I'm going to give you the proof of this. Some of the it's not just people, it's animals and even a tree. Now that was a wonderful experience to connect with a tree. The empowerment that comes from this is phenomenal. I'm really struggling to put this into words because there are not words to even describe this, but your sense things, maybe sounds, maybe colours, maybe images. You'll see them here behind your third eye. You just sort of know. It's the only way I can describe it. But yeah, happy video this time, and I really hope that it's helped lift your spirits up today. Because for me, this isn't going to be a day I forget. 8th of October. It's just so wow. I struggling to find the words to even, and I can't sort of contain my excitement over it all. So I'm just sending out positive vibes and hope that if you're having a bad day, it changes it for you anyway. So I think as well as saying greetings, we're going to end from now on with saying ta-ta for now, because that's what we want. This concept of Tataria, this utopia, regardless of what it was actually called, because names are always given in retrospect. But let's create a heaven on earth, because we've got a hell on earth, but it doesn't have to be that way. We are all co-creators. Don't fall for that flip over that there's one singular son of God. You're all sons of a creator. The Christus, it's the Christ consciousness in us. And I'm proud to say I am a living Christ. I can do healing, and I'm going to put it to the test. I'm going to say right now that there isn't anything I can't heal. And I'm not talking about treatments like doctors. I mean full recovery. And I know some of you out there that I speak to, some of the most beautiful and powerful healers. It would be unfair for me to name them because I don't want them to sort of give them a long line of people saying, please help me. But don't ask for money or anything silly like that, because it doesn't work that way. But you will get rewards as you go. Like I got that Bruckner Symphony in an organ transcription. I've been waiting for that for a long time, and that to me is part of the reward. And it's so wonderful. And the other day, the experience I had was the resident squirrel that travels up and down the garden. It actually came up onto the windowsill and it put its tiny little hand up against the glass. Now, was that the spirit of the person I've been sending the healing to saying thank you? Because that's the way it seemed to come across. Now, one final thing I will say about the organ transcription, it's been speculated, and it does seem to be the case, that cathedral organs, now bear in mind they are organs with windpipes, and what have we got? We have a windpipe and we've got lots of organs. That's just, even that is a flip over. And it is suggested, and it does seem to be the case, that these cathedrals and churches were healing and energy centres as much as anything else at one time, but they've been twisted and taken over by these fake religions. But let's take them back. Let's get them, repurpose them back to their original purpose, where we can all benefit without this fear of, oh, you're unworthy, you're going to go to hell unless you repent. Now, you don't need to repent. You are made perfect, as it says in the first place. You don't need to improve on yourself. You don't need to chop bits off or add bits on. Just feel happy with how you are. There's bits I don't like about myself, particularly some of the bits of the way I look, for example, but I'm not risking having stupid surgery to change it. I'm actually happy with myself now, and this is the thing where we're all continuously bombarded with this fake advertising with airbrushed pictures of how you're supposed to look. To hell with that. Be you, be individual. This is what it's all about. We're all co-creators, we're all gods and goddesses, but it's not hierarchical. That's the thing to remember. It's not having power over somebody else. What you want to find is power over yourself. Be sovereign to yourself. Be like the cat. You decide when you want to go in and out that door, not when someone's trying to push you out the door or telling you when to go out the door. Do things when you want. I'm going to say, please trust me on this. I wouldn't normally say this, but do trust me on this, because it does work. Just put it to the test. Anyway, ta-ta for now, and there will be another video coming very soon. Thank you.